The lobby of Los Angeles International Airport that afternoon was beating like the heart of a city that never rested. Thousands of pairs of feet moved in all directions on the marble floors that reflected the white light of the overhead lights. Flight announcements rang out in several languages, mixed with the sounds of shuffling luggage, crying children, and overlapping conversations. The air felt heavy, a mixture of perfume, coffee, and the anxiety of people racing against time. In a slightly quieter corner of the lobby, two figures stood amidst the crowd, oblivious to their presence, at least not yet. Kim Taehyung and John Jungkook looked like two ordinary young men waiting to depart. Casual clothes, hats slightly covering their faces, sunglasses perched casually. They spoke quietly to each other, occasionally chuckling, as if the world outside their small circle didn't exist. Taehyung leaned lightly against the large glass wall overlooking the runway. His eyes occasionally drifted outside, staring at the slow-moving planes in the distance. There was something in his gaze, a deep calm, as if he were holding much behind those dark brown eyes. Jungkook stood next to him, straighter, more alert, though outwardly he appeared just as relaxed. "Hyung, are you hungry?" Jungkook asked quietly, his head tilted slightly toward Taehyung. Taehyung considered for a moment, then shook his head. "Not really. I'll wait on the plane." Jungkook nodded, his eyes scanning the surroundings again, not out of suspicion, just a habit built over the years. An instinct born not of fear, but of long journeys that taught them that tranquility could end at any moment, without warning. And that day, that instinct proved correct. From the dense crowd, a figure moved differently from the others. Her steps weren't those of someone rushing to catch a flight. Her steps were purposeful, focused on one point, on one person. A young woman, her hair slightly messy, her eyes already wet even before she arrived. Her breath was labored, like someone who had run a long distance, or had been holding something in for too long and now couldn't hold it in any longer. The guards around them hadn't noticed. The crowd was too dense, her movements too natural amidst the sea of people rushing back and forth. 1 second, 2 seconds, and then it all happened. Taehyung! The name exploded in the air, breaking the conversation, freezing time. The sound wasn't just a scream, it was an explosion of long-suppressed emotion, a scream born of unstoppable longing. Before anyone could react, the body had already shot up, both arms wrapped tightly around Taehyung, her face buried in his shoulder, as if embracing something she feared would disappear if she didn't hold on tightly. Taehyung was pushed half a step back. His body reacted faster than his mind. His hands shot up reflexively, not retaliating, not resisting, just hanging in the air in frozen panic. His eyes were wide open. The expression on his face was a complex mix: shock, confusion, wariness, a mask that cracked suddenly and without any preparation. Next to him, Jungkook froze completely. His entire body tensed in a single moment. His breath hitched. His eyes, which had been floating casually, now locked on a single point, the figure embracing Taehyung. Something inside him throbbed, an alarm that went off before his mind could formulate words. "Hyung!" His voice came out only half-heartedly, softly, almost a breath, but there was something heavy in it, a palpable anxiety, a panic that was trying to keep itself from exploding. Jungkook took a half-step forward. His eyebrows met in the middle. His jaw was set. His eyes were unblinking, locked completely on the fan, scanning at a speed he didn't even know he possessed. Every muscle in his body was ready, for what, he didn't know yet. Just ready. The guards finally reacted. They moved quickly, parting the crowd that had begun to stand still, separating the fan from Taehyung with practiced movements, firm, but not rough. One hand on the shoulder, one on the arm, a distance created in a matter of seconds. Sorry, I missed you so much." His voice was shaking violently as he was released. Tears were already streaming freely down his cheeks. His eyes were fixed on Taehyung with an unreadable expression, a mix of embarrassment, emotion, and something so sincere that even the guards around him were momentarily speechless. Taehyung took a deep breath. Slowly, he straightened his body. He looked down slightly, gathering himself, letting the shock settle before he chose to react. When he looked up again, there was a small smile at the corner of his lips, not a full smile. It wasn't a comfortable smile, but a smile that came from a place deeper than mere politeness. A smile that said, I understand, even if this isn't the way to go. Jungkook still didn't move. His eyes shifted from the fan to Taehyung, scanning his Hyung's face carefully, searching for something. Searching for a sign that everything was okay, that no one was hurt, that the 3-second moment had left him with nothing more than shock. Are you okay? He whispered, his voice lowered so that only Taehyung could hear him. Taehyung glanced at him. I'm okay. But Jungkook didn't immediately look away. He continued to stare, a second, two longer, like someone who didn't quite believe the first answer. His fists, which had been clenched, slowly unclenched, his fingers straightening one by one. Then he let out a long breath, a pent-up release, a tension finally allowed to escape. Around them, the world began to move again. People who had been standing still began to whisper. Several cell phones were already raised, recording the final seconds of an event that happened so quickly that most didn't even have time to comprehend what they had just witnessed.